This morning, based on our newly accomplished and completed compensation and classification study, I am proud to announce that the City of St. Louis will be bringing our pay range minimums in line with market rates for our city employees across the board. This allows us to hire the best people, and when you hire the best people, you can deliver the best results to residents. So we are really excited that today we are announcing a pay raise for some of our lowest paid city workers. I want to be clear here. I know that our 2021 pay study has been largely described as having been sitting on a shelf, and I want to be very clear to our city employees, our workforce, that this pay study will not be sitting on a shelf. We will be putting this into effect, and I want to thank our personnel department, Colonel Ben Johnson, our Director of Operations, Julian Nixon, several others who played a very key role, Emily Tinhouse, in making sure that we are seeing this all the way through. I want to be very clear that I support the proposal put forward by Evergreen, our consultants hired to conduct the pay and compensation study. And I am calling for our Department of Personnel to work with our unions and find a pay agreement that gives a raise across the board to all city workers. The City of St. Louis employees are driven, of course, by a desire to serve our community, but paying competitively certainly helps us bring in the best folks at the front end of our discussions. We should be competitive, we should pay competitive, and we know with vacancies across many key departments that a lower minimum is one of the biggest hurdles in being able to attract talent to be able to fill some of those bare minimums. When employees can find better work, better pay for the same work elsewhere, they often go elsewhere. So it's often been the case we've seen in some of our departments that we've trained some of the best folks in the region, and they've left our city departments for higher pay in other city departments across the region. This is an ambitious plan. Our plan is really functionally to bring the minimums, bring all paid employees within 5% of the regional average. And we recognize while there's a small disparity there between the minimum, we also know from this study that our benefit package far exceeds the regional average, and that 5% is really made up for in the benefits package that our city employees receive. And so this really gets us into a competitive arena across all of our city employees. To get into the weeds of how this will really roll out, the Board of Aldermen will of course need to enact a city ordinance. We also, as I mentioned, will be negotiating with unions across our city workforce to ensure that we have a pay raise for all city workers. And once we get those details solidified, we'll be putting it before the Board of Aldermen, and we look to put this into place by February early next year. So what this really means, how this will really play out, we've got about 600 employees that are paid below that 5% minimum right now. So this will give a raise to all of those 600 employees to get them to a 5% within minimum. We've also have an adjustment for our fire department, given how that matrix works. So about 600 fire department employees will also see a bump as a result of this. As I mentioned, we've really struggled to attract talent in some key departments, some service delivery departments, and that's where this is really going to have the biggest impact. So looking, for example, at our tree trimmers, we've got a vacancy rate of 50% in tree trimmers, and what this will do, what this has identified, is that we've got about the vast majority of our tree trimmers are paid far below that 5% at minimum. So this would result in a pay increase for all of them of about 12%. All of those paid below that. That's a really big bump, and we believe strongly that this will be able to help us attract and retain tree trimmers and fill that 50% vacancy rate. Some of the other key departments here, we're looking at the heavy operators. So you're looking at your bulk pickup and your regular refuse pickup workers. These folks are getting paid, you know, anywhere between 9%, at 6 to 9% below that range, and so this will give a raise to a good number of folks in those departments. We've got about 10 to 20% vacancy in those departments, so this will allow us really to attract some new folks into those departments. EMS workers, EMS dispatchers are another key area where we're seeing a big discrepancy. So all in all, we're really proud here of the work that our personnel department's done, Evergreen, our consultants, our department, of course, Ben Johnson's been doing a phenomenal job of really digging into the details of this pay study and making sure that we get the details right before moving forward. But as I mentioned, we are ready. The full study is now online as of this morning. We've communicated with the workers, and we're really excited to unroll this. This has been long in the works, and we believe this is a strong way of really recognizing the hard, good work our city workers do for us and being able to attract new folks to our workforce. And with that, I'd like to turn it over to Ben Johnson, the Director of Operations, to talk a little bit about some of the details.
Thank you, Mayor Spencer, and just want to echo her thanks and comments for our Provisional Director of Personnel, John Understall. He's just been a real great partner and helping make sense and put into action this really important compensation study. So the mayor hit most of the high points here, but just to highlight a few other things I know have been asked or will be asked, just in terms of what does this cost the city. So thankfully, the city did some planning in 2024 to prepare for this. So we did set aside $10 million year after year to make these important adjustments. So as the mayor laid out, when we bring up the minimum salary to within 5% of the minimum for the market, and then also make an appropriate adjustment for the whole pay matrix for the fire department, that cost is about $5.5 million. We have, as I mentioned, budgeted $10 million. So what we hope to see through negotiations with the union representatives for our bargaining unit employees is an ability to make an adjustment for the other employees who are not affected by that bring to minimum approach. And that will help us address some of the compression that we know is going to happen. As we bring the minimum up, we're going to compress some of those higher, longer serving employees, higher paid employees. And so we want to make sure that we adjust for that. But again, that number and how we go about that, we want to make sure we have a sincere and meaningful engagement with those unions and that we come to an agreement on that, and then it's put in place, of course, by our Board of Aldermen. So that's just a little bit of more detail on that piece. And then just one other point I would make about how we went about the market analysis or how the consultant did it. I thought they did a really great job of looking at regionally cities and the county, and even look at NGA, as you saw in the report, to account for, hey, locally, who are our competitors, who can people go work for, and to really document position by position what the market, what our competitive market landscape looks like, and having 16 different locations and employers was a really helpful way to do that. So all in all, you saw in the report some strengths with our current system, but certainly one of the well-documented, I think well-understood, but now more clearly understood weaknesses is in compensation, and that's why we're attacking that first. And we fully support the recommendations of the consultants and of the Department of Personnel, and look forward to putting this into play and implementing it as quickly as we can. And at this point, I think we're ready for questions.
Yep. Anybody have any questions? This is a truly exciting day for our city workforce and just for opportunities to come on board and work for the city.
How do you keep the city caught up?
Say that again?
How do you keep the city kept up with the minimum?
Sure.
You've got 10 million this year, but it just gets more expensive to continue to adjust them. How do you keep the city kept up with the market?
I think that's a great question. Experts really recommend doing these pay studies on a regular basis every 3 to 5 years, and we're committed to doing that. We're going to see inflation and things of that nature, and as rates adjust, we will be adjusting with them.
But a city with a shrinking tax base to take on $10 million more a year in expenses, where does the money ultimately come from?
Yeah, well, as Colonel Johnson pointed out, the Board of Aldermen in our budget process last year allocated $10 million for this increase. So we were really preparing to enact this pay study, recognizing that this was underway. And so this, is budgeted for in this current budget, and we will continue that moving forward. I mean, this is really as part of the last year's budget process already been accounted for. We saw that, with vacancies across city departments, it has some allowance for additional funds for compensation.
So does that mean that there will be a lower number of available job openings because of a result of this?
No, we are keeping the number of job openings the same. That's something that we do need to be looking at, right, sizing the workforce, Mark, but that's not something that this pay study really took a look at this round. What we're looking at this round is really making sure that we're paying people commensurate with what the regional average is, so we can start to fill those vacancies. We know we still have additional work that's not getting done, and we want to make sure that we have the folks in place to do that. We had a bit of a surplus last year. We're grateful for that. We're able to put some of those funds into some of the tornado activities that we need to do, but the surplus from last year was driven largely by vacancies in city departments and our inability to deliver the services that our residents want and deserve.
What happens to non-union employees of the city that start to feel that compression that was mentioned, where now with this new pay raise that entry-level employees are getting, they could be making close to about the same?
Right. Well, while we talked about negotiating with the unions for an across-the-board pay raise, it will impact all city employees regardless of union affiliation. So those negotiations will happen with unions, but it is our intention, it is the recommendation of the report, and it is our intention to raise every city employee to address some of that compression issue as you described.
If we're talking about the workforce of the future, I know AI can't trim trees, but a lot of private sector companies are incorporating AI to lighten the workload or even to shed jobs in some cases. Is the city using AI at all? And do you plan to adapt or infuse that technology into the workforce?
That's a great question. And yes, you're right, AI cannot trim trees yet, but there's no telling what AI can do in the future. And there's, of course, a lot of automated systems doing a lot of interesting things. I would love to see embracing a whole host of things. So yes, the city is dabbling with AI. We are committed to bringing technology and innovation into the city workforce. We don't have a concrete plan, no pun, no. It's not really a pun. Concrete is, I guess, the opposite of AI. But my point really is, Mark, that we hear you. We recognize that there's a lot of automation and a lot of technology that we need to bring in place. We're committed to that. We're bringing our building permits online. It's just a first step of really moving into a new future for St. Louis government as a more innovative entity.
You mentioned tree trimmers in the fire department. One of the biggest departments we hear